After morning, and only just, for the first time in a long time, we are live, and it's 12:05. Usually we're going live at like 2 o'clock in the afternoonish. We actually went live 9 minutes ago, so we went live in the AM. We actually went live in the morning. What is this? But we are fine. We are not held against our will. We are doing this intentionally. Honest. Is look left to lie, right? Hey, anyway, welcome in. Good morning, new week, and almost the point where we start a new month. How are we all doing? Are we all good? Are we all ready to wave goodbye to the shortest month of the year and get set for February? How are we all doing? Did you have a good weekend, babe?
Yeah, it was all right. Didn't really do much.
Did you not? No.
Quite a night in yesterday. You know what I mean?
You know, just chilling out.
Saturday was a bit of a madness.
For those that didn't see, on Saturday, obviously, I went off stream for a haircut, as mentioned, but I wasn't really spending the night with the missus. I mean, I was, but we were also spending the night with Bibby. Yay! Although he didn't know that. So we mentioned last week that Shogun Ash Live was coming up to Manchester. He was also bringing Parma 1993 and Asim Tanvir. So we had a little mini meet-up on Saturday evening, and ate burgers, had cocktails.
Yeah, too many cocktails, some might say, Graham. They was in the Pixel Bar. They was not being shy. Like the first sip, like the first one was okay. Like it was fine. The second one, when I brought them over, I was like, they've definitely not stirred it. It's just all sat at the top. Ooh. It's good though.
The first amaretto and coke that I had in Pixel Bar, it just blew my head off because like it was a tall tumbler, like highball tumblery glass kind of thing, and you're like, okay, nice, a lot of coke in there, so it's going to be quite sweet mixed. No, it was like double shot of amaretto at the bottom, and then all the coke sat on top of it, but your straws in the middle of the double shot of amaretto. I sat down and went. So then just had a glass of Coke afterwards, just down 2 shots and then had a glass of Coke to chase. Nice.
Yeah, and then you waited for me to go. You was just looking at me, waiting for me to make the same mistake, and it didn't happen the first time round, which was bitterly disappointing.
Yeah, I was sat there going, okay, I could tell Bib, I could save the day. Instead, I'm going to watch and wait. But because you've been backwards and forwards to the bar, I think yours are just naturally mixed kind of things. So by the time you sat down,
it's good though. Pixel Bar, massive thumbs up from Bib. Like I've never. We talk about Arcade Club and stuff like that. NQ64 in there before. It's the first time I'd actually been to the Pixel Bar in Manchester, which I can't really describe it. So if I say esports bar, I still don't think that does it justice. Yeah. So basically, it's 2 floors. I didn't even know there was a second floor. Samantha said that there was a nightclub on the bottom floor. I didn't go down and have a look at it. But at the top floor where we was, there was the bar, like kind of in the center, that had loads of TVs around that had the League of Legends World Finals, and then the qualifying rounds for CS:GO World Championships as well going on. And then a load of booths around the outside that had like Nintendo Switches and PS5s and stuff like that, on which we managed to get on for like the last hour of the day, which is cool. But yeah, like I can't really do it justice. If there's one near you to go and have a look at it, it's the music in there was amazing. It was like incredibly cheap. Yeah, it was incredibly cheap as well for the last hour because Ravi decided to say, "Yeah, I've got a student card," and then you get half price drinks and half price booth. So yeah, he waited until the last second to tell us that, but yeah, it was mega. It was really, really good.
Yeah, really good. If you're anywhere near, I don't know if it's just Leeds and Manchester. There might be more, but I know there's definitely Leeds and Manchester. Pixel Bars, definitely do give them a look in as well. We messaged before we went, and they tried to look after us, even though we were messaging kind of late on. Like it's usually books out weeks in advance. But yeah, they were still trying to be accommodating. So good people, nice. Great cocktails, great music. Shitloads of video games. Nice. Winner, chicken dinner.
Yeah, man.
Also, about 27 people serving on the bar as well. So you can be quite unlucky, like we were, for the first 2 minutes at the bar, like, can't get served. And then, once someone actually asked us if we wanted to drink, it took the order, and then it was about 8 other people asked us if we wanted to drink before we even got the drinks back. It's like, literally, we're just waiting for my cocktails. So, yeah. So yeah, that's what we got up to this weekend. What did you guys get up to? Anything good? Anyone go out and get some drinks, some cocktails? Just chilled in? What been up to? Payday, so I'm assuming some people have treated themselves a little bit. Any takeaways? Any food? What we're saying. Also, we did have some gameplay stuff as well. So obviously, Bibi played some FIFA, and one game at least of PUBG on Friday. We did see that. I played some PUBG on Saturday, so shout out to the people that I jumped in games with as well. It was me, Bully, Lotus, and Nietzsche running games for the entire stream. We finished with a 3-peat, a back-to-back-to-back wins, which we don't usually do because we usually play content players rather than sweat players, and we still managed to get a win on each of the 3 big maps on PUBG. Started off with Miramar, then got an Erangel win, and then finished up with a Tego win, which was nice. Also, Bully managed to do a backflip, which a lot of people do in vehicles on PUBG, but he managed to do it in a car, just randomly driving along, backflipped, and then carried on going like it was nothing happened. God damn, GG's Bully. So Timeless says hospital appointments being changed to next week, so we'll be on Hat Watch all week from Wednesday.
Yeah.
Nice. So you're not going to miss it then. Nice. Shout out to Tharian Drake as well. Good morning, sir. How are you doing?
Yeah.
Welcome in. For those that don't know, Tharian Drake is good egg. He's a good egg. What have you been playing, or has it been another creative stream? So Tharian Drake plays a mixture of games. Also has some nice relaxing art streams. I haven't actually caught one of your art streams for a while, so I don't know whether we just got contrasting schedules or you've not been doing them, but yeah, do feel free to go check out Tharian Drake. He's been around for a while. It's nice to see him back. How we doing? I think the fact that we're early is probably the reason why we've seen him, because streaming at 2 p.m. kind of miss each other. Ships in the night. The man Bib, he can do it all, says Tazebad. He goddamn right. I was getting told off by Tazebad the other day because you had to scoop on your own. I was like, I had to scoop on my own for a month.
Yeah, very fair. I can't really say much more, can I? Fair.
I was about to say, looking fresh. Thank you very much. As Bibby would say, the back of my head is looking slappable.
Yes, very slappable.
Nice. There you go. Tyler says, okay, so out of the 2, who is the bad influence out of you lot? I think that's probably definitely Bibby and not me. 100%. Yeah.
Why is that?
Just, I don't know. You're definitely. I mean, I want to go home at like 11 usually. You're the one that's going, let's just get more shots and stuff. It's absolutely not me.
It was. Yeah, but he was umming and ahhing about having another drink. I was just like, Samantha was like, I'll go and get you a drink. Okay. Yeah, get 2. Graham wants one.
Honestly, I was actually joking. I went about like work dues where I'm like, the shots, let's get more. And you're like, I'll go home because I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. I am an early bird though, like me. When I've had there is no brick wall for me. It's I'm alive, and then I want to go to bed. There's no in between. Like as soon as I hit that little peak, I just instantly want to go home. That's it. I'm done. You're a fucking animal.
As long as I don't get a headache. If I get a headache, then I say I might as well just give up. But if I don't get a headache, it's like, okay, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. Let's go, baby.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically depends on who. Both is the answer to that question. Good after morning, gent, says Gagad. Good after morning. I'm too old for cock. Just vodka. Nice. Just the vodka for Tazebad. No cock for him today. I had some bomb ass ramen. Literally the most top stuff I've had in a while. Are we talking spicy? I've had ramen once. And it was from Wagamama, so that's probably not a good example of ramen. I don't know, actually. I mean, ramen from Wagamama could be decent. As someone that's only ever had it once, I don't really know. It was pretty spicy, though. Sat there, like, eating it going, yeah, it's nice, this. Like, full-on runny nose syndrome. Dear. And we still have API errors, so thank you very much for the shout-outs for Tharian Drake, but no. If you want a month off, G, you could always get the missus pregnant. I think we're okay.
That literally is like last resort thing. Like, I need time off. Okay, well, we'll wait for the baby to arrive and then take time off, which isn't time off at all.
Yeah, Chloe's like 12/18 now, so we have life again. So we're at that point where we've got life back. If we just throw it all away again, so I don't know. We'll get a puppy instead.
Yeah, why not?
Can I get a month off with a puppy? Does that work? Probably not. We'll see. Tharian Drake says, I did Lost Ark. I'm a content creator and they're doing drops at the moment. The early stream was part of my D&D show. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So there you go. If you're interested in Lost Ark, do check out Tharian Drake and save for D&D too. Afternoon, JMK. How are we doing, sir? Good morning. Good after morning. Welcome in. For anyone else that's just grabbing a seat in the chat, do welcome in. If you don't know who we are, my name is Graham. I'll jump into the split screen because it tells you there. My name is Graham. He's not in the ICU studio actually, so let's get rid of the nameplates. There you go. He's Bibby. My name's Graham. This is Bibby. We are Ice Cream Uploads in a true Ice Creamy fashion. This is The Scoop, the UK's #1 video game podcast. If we do say so ourselves, we go live on twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads each and every single weekday at 10 a.m.-ish.
12-ish.
Yeah, it's not bad today, 10 a.m.-ish. You know, we're still in the morning. It was 11 something, so that's 11's right next to 10. So, yeah, we'll take that. 10 a.m.-ish. Anyway, we do go live at 10 a.m.-ish. We work in the video games industry, so the streams fit around that, which is why we have an ish, but we don't have any more, so it's okay. It's okay. We give you our thoughts and our impressions on this show from the biggest, the best, and the breaking stories. But it's not just about our thoughts and impressions. We also want to hear your thoughts and impressions, and then your thoughts and impressions on our thoughts and impressions. So please do feel free to get involved, and it's important that you do because it's not just about the stream. We do stream live on twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads. But the live stream is turned into a podcast, a video on YouTube, and an audio podcast on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, and Google Play. And there is lots of people that watch and listen to this show on demand. And as we found out last week, over 130,000 people have watched and listened to this show on demand over the time that we've been doing it. 130,000 listens, downloads. Wonderful. We appreciate it. Views as well.
Legends.
Thank you very much. So do feel free to get involved on behalf of those people that do watch and listen, because there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. Before we jump into the show, I want to remind you that the loot drop is 1 week today. Next Monday will be the 7th of March. I got the month right, I think, this time. I usually get it wrong. I've been saying January for the last 6 months. So 7th of March, I think it is. That will be the first Monday of the month. So therefore, that will be the first day where we give a prize back to you guys. So one subscriber gets a prize. All you need to do is be a sub to the channel on Twitch on that day. Nothing else is needed. So that's a tier 1, 2, 3, prime sub, gifted sub. Even if someone else gives you a gift, all you need to do is be a sub to be eligible. You then have to claim the prize by jumping into the Discord. But if you're not bothered about the Discord, jump out again. Or just you know, whatever. It's up to you. It's up to you. You don't have to. So yeah, all you need to do is be a sub next week to be in a chance with winning a prize. Nice. Speaking of prizes, ! hats. That is what the prize will be. The new ICU baseball caps are in. We have the batch, and they are just about ready to go. One batch will be shipped out tomorrow. So if you want a hat, do feel free to type ! hats to get all the information, or just be a sub, and you could potentially win one next week. Nice. Tazebad says, you are full of hit, Dad. Nice. I need a ride, Dad. Leave me alone. Yeah. I am full of hit. She probably wants to say that and the other word that you meant as well. So, yeah. Anyway, okay, should we jump into some news? I think that's what we're all here for, right? Right? Okay. You might have seen it already from the tweet that we put out, but Pokémon Scarlet and Pokémon Violet have been announced. They are coming late 2022. Was it yesterday? Was yesterday Pokemon Day? I don't know if
it was yesterday, but there was like 7 days leading up to it, weren't there?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember like if the 27th is Pokemon Day, because it's like 25 years since Pokemon was first released in Japan. It could be, if it wasn't yesterday, it was definitely last week, because there was a number of announcements leading up to it. But they usually have some content on Pokemon Day, and whether it was yesterday or not, Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet have been announced. They will be coming late 2022. So if you're a Pokemon player, you want a new experience and you want new Pokemon, then that will be coming later on in the year. There will be 3 new starter Pokemon to choose from. So you will probably have the usual grass, fire, water trio to choose between. Those Pokemon have been revealed. So we will go through that as our first story of the day. We then jump through the rest of the news, which can give you some teasers. So Hogwarts Legacy is 100%. That's a quote, by the way. Getting a new trailer in March, says an insider. Finally, some more information. So if you're interested in the new Harry Potter game, we have some details, potentially. Then bit my lip. Nice. Great. Malfunction. A physical event is returning to the calendar this year as Tokyo Game Show returns later in the year. We will have all of the details on that including something interesting from Andy Robinson. I have a tweet from Andy Robinson that follows that article just because it's creative. And then we will jump into the fact that Steam Deck does a great job running PS4 games like Horizon Zero Dawn and God of War. And finally, Elden Ring looks likely to have smashed the Souls sales records in the UK. That is an article from Andy Robinson at VGC to finish things off. So there's lots of news. Pokemon, Hogwarts, Tokyo Game Show, Steam Deck, Elden Ring, all the news. How many Pokemon will this make now? I believe it's more than 8, JMK. I can confirm it's definitely more than 8 Pokemon in total now. I think it's like close to like 1,000 or maybe more than 1,000. I don't know. It's too many. There's 151 and that's all I will recognise. Thank you very much. Because I'm an old man and we don't like change. Okay, today's lead story, if I can find it, there it is Pokemon. Are you interested in playing Pokemon Scarlet, Pokemon Violet, babe?
I'm interested in playing Arceus, but again, can I find time to be able to do that at this moment in time? No!
Well, do you know what? Unlucky, as Pokemon Scarlet, Pokemon Violet have been announced coming late 2022. 3 new starter Pokemon also revealed. Jordan Midler at VGC has this article, which starts off by saying Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet, the newest games in the Pokemon franchise, have been announced. The games, which were revealed during Pokemon Presents, will release for Nintendo Switch in late 2022. Several classic Pokemon were shown off, as well as 3 unnamed starter Pokemon. You can watch the trailer for the games below. I'm going to hit play on it. I'll keep it muted, though, but it's like 3 minutes odd, so we won't watch it all. Plus, Nintendo will probably take us down because, Nintendo thinks... I'll come back to it. It's just doing a live action thing. I'll come back to it. So the trailer also shows the game's 3 new starter Pokemon, or partner Pokemon, as they're named this time. The starters are a grass-type cat called Sprigatito, nice, a fire-type crocodile Pokemon called Fuecoco, and a water-type duckling Pokemon called Quaxley. It's safe to assume the player will get to choose one of these 3 as they begin their journey in this unknown region. The trailer ended with an image describing the game as an all-new entry in the Pokemon series releasing worldwide in late 2022. You can see screenshots from the trailer below. There we go. Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet were the only new Pokemon games announced as part of Pokemon Presents. The second Detective Pikachu game is still in development, according to a new recruitment advertisement for developer Creatures Inc. As posted on Creatures Inc. web. Do you know what? We'll leave that. We don't need to talk about Detective Pokemon. It's still in development. Okay, that's fine. For now, though, Pokemon Scarlet, Pokemon Violet has been announced. You've not played Arceus, Bib.
Yeah.
Or as the Americans like to call it, Arceus. Do you know what? I actually had this conversation the other week, shows unmuted. Because I was listening to Kind of Funny, and I heard Blessing Adeoye Jr. and I'm going to call him Greg Miller rather than Greg James, because I usually call
well done, Graham.
I usually call him Greg James. Do you know what's on it? Because Greg James, there we go, nice. Blessing and Greg were both talking, it might have been Tim actually, were both talking about Pokemon. One of them called it Arceus and then the others called it Arceus. And then and I don't know whether that was just one leading the other or whatever, but I was like, I'm sure it's Arceus. And then I watched Show and spoke to Show about it, and Show gave some big history about why it's actually called Arceus. And I was like, well, I thought it was Arceus as a result of like Archaeopteryx, bird, big flying bird. But there you go, whatever. Either way, Arceus, not Arceus. So if anyone says Arceus, then call them an Arceus. Yeah, right. So you've not played Arceus yet, babe. Arceus, nice.
I have not.
Would you make time for a new Pokemon game? Have you
If
seen
I had
this,
the time,
this trailer? What are your thoughts?
I mean, I've seen the trailer, and the first couple of minutes are a bit weird, because it's real life. It was like a security guard walking down, and it takes like a minute for us to be able to actually jump in and see the world and what Pokemon is. So that threw me a little bit. I thought, am I watching the right trailer here? Am I being blacked? Am I being pranked? Because I watched it on YouTube rather than over on Twitter. But I mean, I love Pokemon games. I genuinely do love playing them. I just want to have time to be able to play them all. But again, just because I don't play them doesn't mean that I can't comment and say how good they look, and then taking everybody else's opinions into consideration as well. For me to maybe say, do you know what, it actually looks, and it looks like a good game. People are saying it's a good game. So Yeah, I mean, Arceus is probably, from what I've heard, is probably the best in the franchise so far. So that now is probably their foundation. I'm very interested to see what kind of game that this is compared to that, because I've got a feeling that whatever comes towards the end of the year may end up being a step backwards. I don't think it may. I don't think it might. I don't think it'll be an advancement. I feel like they're going to strip it back to. I feel like the Legend Arceus is going to be like a spin-off. Do you know what I mean? So they'll have Pokemon Legends and then whatever the next one is, and it will be like this open world game again. I've got a feeling that this will go back to being here's your town, there's your Pokemon, there's your trainer, that kind of vibe. I feel like it'll be very linear again, rather than it being an open world adventure, what Arceus is currently.
Yeah, I agree. There we go. I said we weren't going to watch through the whole trailer, but we did. Like Bibi says, there's like a weird minute and a half that's just like setting the scene, and then there's another 40 seconds at the end that's setting the scene. There's only like a minute trailer within the trailer, which is like, great, nice waste of time.
And you don't even see much from it.
Yeah.
You just see like screenshots of the camera panning around at the city and stuff, which is great because it looks like they've actually got a bit more going on in terms of like the trees and the grass and things like that, which is something that I don't think Arceus has, which I don't think it needed to have for it to be a good game. But I feel like the world and environments of older Pokemon games seem a little bit fuller in terms of the environment. So that's what makes it. And the fact that they're bringing out two, the Violet and I keep on forgetting the other one, Violet and Scarlet. Yeah, because they've got two games, it makes me feel like it's going back to the old school. Like, let's go Eevee, let's go Pikachu.
I think that's what it is. So Arceus is like a more of a story driven campaign, whereas Scarlet, Violet, Diamond and Pearl, Black and White, X and Y or whatever it was, like Red and Greens and stuff like that. It's the same sort of. Obviously, they're all story games, but it's all about building out the decks more than anything. The story's almost secondary to it, which I think that's kind of where I'm lost with it. I think that's why it doesn't speak to me anymore, because there's not the only real story for me in Pokemon is I want to be a Pokemon master, and that's the story. It's like, obviously that includes the bits of going through, getting your 8 gym badges, going to the Elite Four, and then getting 151 Pokemon in it, kind of thing. Obviously, everything else where they try to put bits of story in, it's all kind of irrelevant because it's all the same thing to me. I just want to go and get everything and complete it. And we're at the point where there's so many Pokemon that are so similar to things that have been in before. I just feel like even these 3 starter Pokemon. So we got a grass type cat. I mean, we've had. I'll bring this back on screen. We've had cat Pokemon before. So whilst that's a good looking Pokemon, it doesn't look too far away from a Meowth, so that's not particularly brand new. A fire-type crocodile called Fuecoco, which looks like a red Totodile, so okay, nice. And then a water-type duckling called Quaxley. Just a pigeon. It's another cartoony pigeon. So don't particularly fill me with I feel certainly attached to those. I've seen a lot of people talking about Quaxley this morning on social media. I haven't really paid attention. I'm not that bothered by it. So this does lose my interest. This probably should be big news, but it's not for me. I won't play this. I think I'm gonna just. Yeah. Before I've been like, do you know what? Maybe I'll jump back in. I probably won't, but maybe I will. And I think with this one, I'm not gonna play this game. I think that's the safest way for me to put it. Arceus, I want to play. Violet and Scarlet, not interested. Although if I was going to play one, it would be Violet because that's very ICU color scheme. But no, nope, not for me.
Right. So then I've got a question, and I feel like I already know this answer because you kind of answered it yourself. But as someone who was an old school Pokemon fan, what do they need to do to bring you back and be able to play the game now? I feel like you've already answered that with Legends Arceus. You just haven't got around to playing it yet. But is that the only way that's now going to keep your attention because they have changed how you play a Pokemon game? Is that the only way that you can see yourself going back and actually playing Pokemon games? You're done with the old formula. You only want the new stuff?
It's not even that. I mean, I would go back and I would play another remake of Red and Green. But for me, it needs... it needs more than the Switch can offer, I think. Arceus I would probably play because it gives me a little bit of that, what I want. What I want is that third person, over the shoulder, being able to walk around, see Pokemon in the wild, battle them, and get my decks and stuff as I go. I don't want that Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee sort of like weird streak vibe where you've got the more Pokemon you get, the better your streak is, the more likely you are to get a shiny Pokemon. That's not Pokemon. That's grind. Pokemon is about the very first Pokemon you find in the wild could be a shiny Pikachu. You don't have to catch 12, 25, 50 of them to make sure you finally get to the levels where you get a shiny one.
Yeah.
So, like, I like what they've done with Arceus. That's giving me a more modern direction on the storyline. I would love to see that, but with that third person over the shoulder. Big, bright worlds, good draw distances, high level textures and stuff like that. But there was a bit within this trailer, if I can jump back, see if I can find it. Like this bit, I'll put it back on screen here. So this bit of the trailer, let me jump back a couple of seconds. Okay, maybe not. So, like, you can see all the trees and stuff. It just looks very... There's a lot there, but there's also not a lot there. There's a lot of stuff within there to make it feel like there's a lot in there, but there's huge gaps. There's no detailing on the grass. It looks like the old school, the way that football gamers used to call it. It looks like a marble desktop with stuff stuck on it. That's what the grounds look like. There's no real detail. And if I flick to this next screen, you start to see, like, you can see the lines, the draw distance where the water just kind of drops off in the distance. And it just doesn't do enough for me. So
yeah,
you take away the magic and the attachment that I had and still have to the first 151 Pokemon, then you don't have anything really for me there. So it's not about the story as much as there is 151 creatures here, and you like them all, and you want to go out and catch all of those 151. That is the story for me. I have an attachment to that 151. Yeah, give me the Mewtwo or the Mew arc to the story, then that's fine. I'll go with that. Give me the Elite Four and the Pokemon League. Yeah, I'll go with that too. But it's really about catching that 151. So when we're up to, someone asked in the chat, how many is this now? Is this like, if it's 1,000 Pokemon, I'm not bothered. I mean, I know a lot of them. There was a Seviper and stuff in that trailer. Don't really care for Seviper. I know what it is because I caught in Pokemon Go. It's a regional Pokemon. I know what it is. And not interested. And Arbok and Ekans, yeah, I'm a bit more interested in that. That's a snake Pokemon. Let's go. So yeah, no attachment to the Pokemon. So I'm not bothered about catching and filling out my decks for them. And after that, that's it. So I'm not interested. Get me 151 Arceus-ish storyline, or even just give me 151 again, but allow me to go through and battle in the Pokemon League with that full 3D sort of vibe. Yes, please. Yes, please. $8.98. Nope. No, thank you.
That's a lot, that, innit? I mean, it does give you longevity in the game. Like, if it was a full Pokédexed game and you're able to go out and collect them all, or catch them all like it's fucking collect them all like it's Pokemon cards. If you were to go and catch them all, yeah, you've got a long time there to be able to go and collect. Still, what I say, collect, catch them all. So yeah, I mean that'll give you a bit of a longevity, but
I mean
there isn't.
I want to be the very best
for a reason,
like no one ever was. To collect them is my real test. No! Although, to be fair, I do want to point out that we were out on Saturday night and this song came on. The theme tune came on while we were in Arcade Club, and we were all, as grown people, just stood there singing out loud. Heart so true, the courage you pulled us through. Okay, nice.
Yeah. We're all over 30 as well, which is, I don't know, you can take it as, I mean, if you was walking past and you had no interest in it, you're probably thinking, what a room full of sad bastards that is, but we enjoyed ourselves.
The thing is, we did enjoy ourselves, but we were so invested that we didn't look around. I bet everyone else was doing the exact same thing. I bet no one was judging. Everyone was full on, like, power ballad, hand out, grabbing the air and pulling it back in as they nail the notes kind of thing. You teach me and I'll teach you. Letting it go.
Okay, monsters.
Gotta collect them all.
That's right.
So yeah, to summarise, massive vibes for Pokemon, not massive vibes for this. I'm not going to gatekeep anyone, and I'm not going to be negative towards anyone that will be hyped by this. There will be a lot of people that are. For me, I'm not. I've started to get a taste of what I want with Arceus, and I say I've not even played it. I've started to get elements, feels of what I want from a Pokemon game. I don't just want. It's probably a harsh word. I find like anything past 400, and that's a stretch already, but anything past 400 is shovelware Pokemon to me. You like that? Let's do it again. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. Let's no, okay, just so
Yeah.
I feel like I don't need 150 just adding in every time, and so I need a good 150 with a good storyline, and yeah, they already had that, so.
I feel for me, like as someone who loves playing open world games, I feel like there needs to be. I mean, this could already be in the game because it's been a while since I played one. But like, if there was a cave that you had to go into and you had to take down a boss, and this is absolutely me taking a Skyrim formula and putting it into Pokemon. But if you had to go into a particular area to go and get, I don't know, a Pokemon, you had to take down the Pokemon and then you could catch it when it's weak. That would then give me the incentive to go, okay, I need to clear the map. I need to go into a place and get it cleared. That would give me the incentive to do it. But I feel like having to just go around and catching the same Pokemon 6 times, and then I might have a chance of getting a shiny, and that would add to my Pokedex. That's the bit that I can't. I think I'd struggle to complete my Pokedex if that was a formula. I'd need a reason to go in to somewhere and, I don't know, take down 4 or 5 Pokemon to get to the boss, and then I can take the boss down. I'm using boss as like an all-encompassing thing. It was just a much stronger Pokemon for you to get it weak and then take it down. Then you've collected it. You don't have to go back into that cave again unless you wanted to farm and grind your XP out for your Pokemon. But that's the only way that I could see myself wanting to be able to fully complete a Pokemon game, if it had that kind of strategy, that kind of gameplay mechanic behind it. That would be the way for me. But in terms of like just going around and just collecting them in the wild and stuff like that, I don't want to be running through grass to bump into the same Pokemon 16 times and then eventually it'll arrive on my screen for me to be able to try and catch it. That isn't the vibe.
Yeah, see, I think that's where I liked Red and Green, Red and Blue. Obviously, green if you played the original Japanese version or the leaf green version, but that's why I liked Red and Blue, because there was a lot in there, but it's almost like I adored Tony Hawk's Pro Skater and finished everything on that. I don't do platinums in games. Anything that feels like it's repetition or a bit of a grind to get to the 100%, I don't bother. I'm not interested. And I finished everything on Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, got all the skate letters, got all the tapes and stuff like that. Didn't do that on Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 because it felt like, for me, the balance that was there for the first one, naturally they had to go beyond that, but that just felt like too much of a grind for me to try and get everything in there. Similarly, like Call of Duty 4, you'd get 3 kill streaks and it was like 3, 5, and 7. Ta-da! But then by the time we got to Modern Warfare 2, you could customize your kill streaks, which would end with a nuke that went up to 25, and I just thought, okay, that's just too much, too far, and I get what you're trying to do. You're trying to innovate and extend, and I feel like Pokemon's done that to the point where, like, I'm not interested in getting 6 times the amount that was in the first game at all, let alone having to do that to get shinies. Some people will play through that game and get 898 shinies, both as males and female versions as well. I mean, I wouldn't even get 888 male and female, but like, okay, well, that's a Pikachu, that's fine. It's a male Pikachu. What about that? It's Pikachu, stick it in the bag. Okay, next one. I mean, I wouldn't even do that for 898, so let alone all of those variations. So I feel like there's already too much chaff in there, and a lot of the Pokemon are. Some of them are literal rubbish. Who wants rubbish as a Pokemon? I mean, the thing with Pokemon was like, Fire Dragon, let's go. Water Dragon, let's go. And then it's like, oh, okay, Canine of Fire, and it's like all these things, like, obviously talking like Charizard, Gyarados, Arcanine, that sort of stuff, like badass things. Yeah, let's go. And then when you've got Trubbish and not interested. I mean, don't mention any other. You tell me there's a trash Pokemon, not interested. Your game's trash. Your game's trash, mate. Your ideas are trash. Get out, mate. So yeah, I'm gonna stop because I'll just start to get a bit more negative on it when it's not what I intend to do. What I mean to say is it's not for me, and I'm okay with that. And it probably is suitable for a lot of other people, and I'm okay with that too. I will probably play the more mainstream Pokemons, the ones that do inevitably come back to leaning into the 151, because that's what they do when they want to revitalize Pokemon. They find a new way to get a new, not even the global audience back into Pokemon is to throw out Charizard, throw out Mewtwo. There you go. That's everyone back in again, and then that's it. People like me will come running again, like, yeah, let's play that. So when we get that, but Arceus form, then I'll come back. Until then, I think I'm done with Pokemon. Don't think it's for me anymore. Tell you what, I'm interested though. Harry Potter, let's go! Yep. As this article written by VASPAAN at the Gamer says, Hogwarts Legacy is 100% getting a new trailer in March, says an insider. Finally, some more information, ? So February may have been a great month for video games. It's ridiculous, to be fair. Great is just not enough. There was so much that came out in February. What an exceptional month. Anyway, but March might be magical. No, Hogwarts Legacy is not launching next month, but it's apparently going to get a new trailer according to account NGT. Admittedly, a new trailer isn't all that much to get excited over, but the sheer lack of information on the game means we'll take anything we get at the moment. Their tweet comes thanks to a retweet thread courtesy of a number of well-known insiders. Battlefront and Call of Duty leaker Tom Henderson tweeted saying, "Not a scoop or anything." Thanks for the exposure there, cheers, mate. But surely PlayStation has to be doing something in March. There's too many things aligning that suggest that it's probably the case. This, in turn, received a quote tweet by another insider, Special Nick, who added... What name? Special? Nice. Who added, yes, they've got a show in March. This is supposed to be, air quotes, the good one. This eventually received a quote tweet by account NGT, simply with a magic wand emoji indicating that there might be some information regarding Hogwarts Legacy at the rumoured event. Finally, cut to today, where they mentioned that they received additional information and that we can 100% expect a new trailer in March. Insider information should usually be taken with a pinch of salt, but account NGT had a more than decent track record of getting information on specific games. Most notably, they tweeted an image from the Star Wars Eclipse trailer almost a week before its debut at the Game Awards. Last month, some reports suggested Hogwarts Legacy would not be coming out this year. However, the official Wizarding World website later published a blog which stated that Hogwarts Legacy will be coming out in 2022, along with other Harry Potter-related projects like Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore in April, and the Fantastic Beasts: A Natural History documentary. As for when exactly it will launch, account NGT previously mentioned that we should expect a September release. Additionally, the art and making of Hogwarts Legacy will be published in September, and considering that art books are usually launched along with their respective project, Hogwarts Legacy might release then as well. I think we went through the entire article there. So nice. Thank you very much, VASPAAN DASTOOR, for ripping off absolutely everything, but it's good stuff. It's good stuff. Thank you very much. So yeah, Hogwarts Legacy is 100%, quotes, getting a trailer in March. Would you be happy to sit down and watch that, babe? Excited?
Yeah, I'm excited to play it, Graham. Like, again, I've mentioned many times on this podcast that I am not, by any stretch of the imagination, a Harry Potter fan. It's something that has passed me by despite reading the first two books and maybe watching the first two films as well. Obviously, was it 2001 that this came out? I remember reading it maybe in year 6. And then maybe year 7 reading the second book. I'm not too sure. It's a long time ago. Over 20 years now. Ugh. That's disgusting. That's literally over 20 years ago. Oh my god. That just made me feel a little bit older. But yeah, I think
it might actually be like 98. I think it is. I could be
really
wrong. Yeah, I might be wrong.
I don't remember reading it around then. I definitely would have been towards the later years of primary school. I would have been 11. No, yeah, it would have been 10 around then. But obviously the books would have passed me by for a good 3 years before then anyway. I don't think they were making a book and then bringing a film out straight away. So you're probably right. But yeah, beyond the first two books and the first two films.
26th of June, 1997. There you go.
Oh my god. Yeah, so it'd been out like 4 years before he even got round to reading it. Shocking, really. But yeah, it's just one of the things that have passed me by. But I love a good RPG game, Graham, and anything to do with wizards and stuff like that in a video game, sign me up, baby. I'm ready to play it. So yeah, I want to see what the environment looks like, because it's interested me, and the whole Hogwarts building and I'd say the culture of wizards, and everything else that goes along that's in there. I feel like it could make a fantastic game. And I did play the first Harry Potter game on PlayStation 1, and I loved it. So there is a small history there. But I feel like this is where you come in and you go, do you know what? I mean, you don't really play that many RPGs, Graham. So I'm interested to see where your stance will be on this when it comes out. Like, is this the first? Well, I say the first game. You have obviously had played RPGs before it, but I feel like your education in the RPG sector, this is going to be a completely different world for you and how you play video games.
I mean, I've played a few, but it's like I've played the major single player storylines, not really like online RPGs. So MMORPGs I've no experience with, but like a lot of single player RPGs I've played through. Generally not in this area though. So if you break down Harry Potter, it's Bibby. So is there magic? Yes. Okay, that's Bibby. Is there dragons? Yes. Okay, that's Bibby. What about castles? Yes. Okay, that's Bibby. And then go on. So this is full on a Bibby game, and that's absolutely not me. I mean, superheroes, superpowers, modern warfare, guns and stuff like that. That's kind of usually where you'd see me. But yeah, 100%. I am hyped for this because I feel like it doesn't go into that fantasy lore that they start off different, and then they all kind of just go, oh, we need a broadsword, and we need a longbow, and we need a shield, and we need so every other game that ever existed ever. So I feel like magic isn't like your ultimate power. It's almost like, you have to just keep using these bows that only do 2 damage because you've got shitloads of them, and then every 5 minutes you can do one magical whoosh, and it's like, okay, that's everything. Like everything starts off with magic in Harry Potter, so it's just a bit more like whoodah, flicking the sticks, and then you build up to your Avada Kedavra kind of magics and stuff. So it feels just a bit more exciting. The dragons are depending on how they're built into the storyline, they could be stuff that are easily accessible, not just end game sort of like big beasts and things like that. It's like, my best mate's cousin, he breeds them in Romania. Jobs are good and nice. So
yeah, I think it will have like mana bars and stuff like that, where you're able to cast for a certain amount of time. You have to get level up perks and XP to be able to try and increase your health, increase your spell times, obviously increase the intensity of the spells, increase how many spells that you can do at any one time. Like, I think this will be a proper out-and-out RPG, which that excites me more than anything, if I'm being honest, because I do love a good RPG. So I can't wait for it.
I'm intrigued though, because I can see it also not going that far. I can see them going for the PlayStation sort of approach, and it being somewhere like a Jedi Fallen Order / a Spider-Man Miles Morales, a theatrical video game tie-in that's done to a very high standard that is that will have some sort of cooldowns or build-up bars on your special moves, but it being pretty easy and hands-off. I could see it being that way as well. There will no doubt be some online elements to this, but obviously Harry Potter is super theatrical. Obviously, it's based around a full wizarding world of films and books. Obviously, naturally, the books came first, but stick with that. So, in terms of Warner Brothers, have got they're not averse to wanting to make money, and I just don't know whether they have enough experience. Someone feel free to correct me if they've got something that I'm just completely missing. But in terms of they can release titles systematically, periodically, like films, big release, but they don't. Do they have anything that ticks the box of the live service to a high standard yet? So I could see this being RPG story, but single player, not so much of the online stuff, which means it's a little bit modular, for want of a better word.
You see, I think that would disappoint. That would be mildly disappointing to me if that was the case. Like, I'd love a Fallen Order / God of War type Spider-Man game if that's what we want to do, and if we're going for blockbuster type games. But I feel like with the environment that they've got, it'll be a shame to water it down to that extent. And I'm not saying that if they do that, it'll be a bad game. I just feel like that the entire world is crafted for a full RPG game. And I think people who have played enough RPGs in the time will probably understand where I'm coming from. Like, you've got an apprentice wizard there that can't really do much or shouldn't be able to do much at the beginning of the game. By the end of the game, they should be this I don't know like a top name for a wizard, but they should be able to do everything. They should be able to cast.
Just be Dumbledore.
They should just be able to cast for as long as they need to. They should have a full arsenal of spells and cast to be able to do at any given time. That's where I see the apprentice to the master, and the storyline in between is what you need, how you play the game and what perks you use and how you spend your XP points. That's what an RPG game is to me, and I feel like I'd be disappointed if it didn't get that, but I would trust them enough to be able to fulfill a good RPG game if they wanted to make it all blockbuster. But for me, that's what the films are for. If this is a game, you want to be able to grind the XP down to the absolute bone. You should be able to play this game your own way rather than it being like a kind of linear experience. So, yeah, I mean, again, I wouldn't be disappointed, but if they want to do it properly, a full top-down RPG experience is the best way to make it a success.
Yeah, I think that's the interesting thing. So this tagline of this article that we covered by VASPAAN DASTOOR at the Gamer says, finally, some more information, ? And I think that's where we sat. So we know roughly what it looks like-ish. We know that there's wizards. We know it's 100 years before the Harry Potter stuff, so it's going to expect full-on medieval wizardish sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, we get that. We know it's third person over the shoulder from what we've seen. Okay, that's pretty cool. But then we don't know if we're talking MMORPG or just straightforward single-player campaign kind of stuff. I think it has the potential to be great whichever way it is. It's just, based off of the fact that we've not seen live service, I think we will go for the sort of one hit and done storyline. I could be completely wrong, but we'll find out in the next couple of weeks anyway, because we are hours now away from March, and this is due to come out in March. So we will see whether that's as part of some big PlayStation conference that's still to be announced. We will see, but obviously when we get more information, we will share with you guys. Let me jump back through the chats. Lotus dropped in and says moist. And then he also called us oldest, which is rude but true. You young whippersnapper.
No comment.
Yeah. Just realised this time next week I will be staring at the clock waiting for midnight in WWE 2K. No.
Same.
I don't think it will be an RPG-based game, as I think they want to appeal to a very broad audience. See, that's kind of what I feel as well. I'm thinking, like, Warner Brothers have, like, if you look at their theatrical stuff that they've tied into, we've got Batman, we've got Lord of the Rings. I think it'll be that sort of vibe. Maybe Nemesis system, maybe not, depending on how it works and stuff. Maybe you've got a Draco Malfoy rather than some orc that's your Nemesis or something like that kind of vibe, possibly. But yeah, the interesting thing is we just don't know. We have no idea on how the game will actually work, so hopefully we'll find out in the next few weeks. Madge, as in Magic, not Magic Man, says, hey guys, I'll read. How's things, dude? Okay, live service. No, I don't think so. Is Gotham Knights going to be live service? I don't think we have that information on that yet. We've had bits. I don't know. It could be, and if it is live service, I hope it's less Marvel's Avengers and more actual substantial live service games. Please, thank you very much. Right, blood test time. Catch you gents tomorrow unless you're still on in an hour or so. Have a good stream. We probably won't be, so yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good dude. Enjoy the blood test, says Graham, as he was just about to say. Enjoy your day, but then realise that you're going for a blood test. So enjoy that as much as you can. Nice, nice, sweet. Okay, we will keep things moving forward though as we jump into our next article. This is a little bit of a return to normal, which is nice to see. Victoria Kennedy Eurogamer says Tokyo Game Show returns as a physical event this year. Nothing stops gaming. So Tokyo Game Show will be back in 2022 as a physical event for both business and general visitors. As ever, the annual show will be held at the Makuhari Messe, one of Japan's largest convention centers. TGS will start on the 15th of September for business visitors and then be open to the public from the 17th until the show's conclusion on the 18th. The theme this year will be Nothing Stops Gaming, with the Computer Entertainment Suppliers Association stating, quote, over these 2 years, various fun events disappeared from our daily life, but games still lightened up our days. Games will continue to brighten up the days of everybody now and forever. This year's theme implies such a strong determination. In the full outline of this year's show, the organizer shared its mission to create hope and to update the possibilities of gaming. Quotes, unprecedented excitement is always born out of something you have never imagined. Let's open the gate to the forefront of games, give courage and enthusiasm to everyone, show your love of games to each other. I'm going to stop for a little bit because that just sounds like, okay, it's all cool stuff, but what do you really mean? You're just saying lots of nice stuff, which if I then jump out of that and then jump into this version of that content. So this is a tweet from @AndyPlatonic, aka Andy Robinson. He doesn't actually work for Platonic Games anymore, but he used to do back in the day. He is now the big dog at VGC. We cover a lot of their news. Anyway, this is how he has interpreted those words that I was going through. So he's read through all of their PR and says, also, and this isn't a joke, he is the official GGS 2022 theme song. Tokyo Game Show 2022 theme, nothing stops gaming. And it's basically all of those words that they were going through there with the end, nothing stops gaming, exclamation mark, space, exclamation mark, space, exclamation mark. So yeah, it was a bit weird and over the top. And he said, okay, this doesn't explicitly say these are song lyrics, but we can hope. So yeah. TGS is back for 2022 with a weirdly over-the-top PR/ theme song. Not really much to say. We don't have details about what will be there, but the article that we were looking at before says, in 2020, the Tokyo Game Show was held as a fully virtual event, while 2021 was a hybrid event. But while this year will mark the first time in 3 years that it is a physical event for all, there will still be plenty online for fans to check out. Happy to see a proper physical presence at a major trade show event or not, babe? Is it good to see things getting back to normal slowly?
Yeah, I mean, gigs have been happening now since before Christmas. I mean, there was a point, I think, before Christmas where one or two gigs would be, well, I say one or two, there was like 2 weeks where gigs were being cancelled again in light of a potential new lockdown, but that never came, that never happened. So the gigs that were meant to happen have been rescheduled. So I think the world is kind of getting back to normal again, in a COVID sense, of course. Gigs are happening. I drove into Manchester yesterday and saw the big posters for Parklife. Obviously, that's happening this year, where a lot of people will be going to Heaton Park to watch all the gigs. I think Download Festival's happening. These big festivals are taking place again now. Why can't we put gaming conventions back into that again? EGX did get cancelled this year, though, didn't it?
I think so.
It was meant to take place, and I'm sure it was been cancelled since.
I think so. When you say that, do you mean the one that should have taken place last September, or the one that's about to take place this September?
The one that's meant to take place. I think it was meant to be Birmingham this year.
Yeah, EGX Birmingham. So there's EGX Resd Birmingham kind of thing, which is March time, which is like, so I think that one has been cancelled. E3
that's what I meant. Yeah,
has been cancelled as a physical event already. Gamescom, I don't know if we've had word on Gamescom for this year. So it could have been another year of a full clean sweep of events not happening. But Japan TGS definitely is happening, which is a significant step towards things getting back to normal, which is nice to see. I would like to see E3 big show events. I want to see. I mean, we've got PS4 out of the back door. We've got Xbox Ones out of the back door, and we have these big new shiny consoles, which we started to get a little bit about, but we've not actually really fully seen them at trade shows yet. So I would like to see big PlayStation. Like usually what you tend to see is a big blue wall and a big green wall, and then PlayStation and Xbox throw all their money behind their own walls. I want to see that kind of thing again. So yeah, I'm on board for physical events coming back. So TGS, nice. I'm probably not going to be there. Maybe it's probably not going to be there, but we will bring you any news that is released at the show. So still nice for those that are going. Do you know what? If you are going, though, and you want to keep up with your gaming, then a Steam Deck is probably a good way to go about that, which is a nice cheesy tangent into my next story, which is from LIANG at The Gamer, which says Steam Deck does a great job running PS4 games like Horizon Zero Dawn and God of War, so Valve's portable system pulls off PS4 games with aplomb. So the Steam Deck has been garnering praise for its performance, whilst also drawing criticism for bugs, compatibility issues, and battery life. Valve's portable gaming system has had a somewhat mixed reception reception among reviewers, while still inspiring impressed reactions. Among the latter is Digital Foundry, who tested the highest spec Steam Deck and found console quality handheld gaming. Nice. Console quality handheld gaming. Yes, please. DF even said it was more comfortable to use than a Nintendo Switch, even though the deck is much larger and heavier than the less powerful Switch. Meanwhile, those gamers who own neither a PS4 or a PS5 but have been waiting to try out Sony first-party titles such as God of War and Horizon Zero Dawn, which have been ported to PC, can play them on the Steam Deck and they'll find very good performance to boot. Horizon Zero Dawn and God of War, both of which have been admired for their graphics and smooth animation, are standout showcase titles for the PS4. Run at a remarkably sturdy 30 FPS on the deck, and if the frame rate cap is removed, highs of 45 FPS can even be reached, which means the Steam Deck sometimes outperforms the original console equivalents, although Valve's machine is outputting a lower resolution. Hideo Kojima's Death Stranding runs at 720p at a steady 30 FPS in equivalent settings to a PS4. While dropping to 720p may sound lackluster, the Steam Deck does only have a 7-inch screen, meaning the lower resolution won't be as noticeable as on a large TV or monitor. It does go into other bits about Days Gones and other ports and things like that, but we don't need to go through that. You can look through the article, the full article for that. But what we can see is that the Steam Deck might not be perfect. There are issues. The biggest one for me is battery life. That's what we've always said has been going to be an issue with portable devices. Yeah. But it can kill it with console gaming quality in your hands. See, that interests me. That's what I was talking about. I really should have put this after the Pokemon article, because the bit that one of my biggest turns off is the lack of quality graphics, and knowing that Steam Deck gives you that. Nintendo, speak to Valve, make friends. What are your thoughts, babe?
Yeah, I mean, if the Nintendo Switch is capable of comparing it to any console, it would be the Xbox 360 and PS3 era, in my opinion, for the Nintendo Switch. Like, you can have fantastic experiences like Doom, Wolfenstein, Skyrim, Zelda, for the art style, I suppose. I mean, it's a massive open world experience, so it wouldn't be out of place on any other modern console. But in terms of pound for pound graphical powerhouse and what the system can do, this is what the Nintendo Switch 2 needs to be like. Like, if you want to have as much power as the Steam Deck does, it will change the way that you make Nintendo games going forward. But that's not Nintendo's style, which is, I don't know whether or not it's ever going to hinder them, because the Switch is coming up to be one of the greatest best-sell consoles of all time. So if you wanted to make a Switch Pro, which I don't think is likely, I don't think we're going to get a Switch Pro. If we did, it would have happened by now. It would have been coming out potentially for the Breath of the Wild 2. I feel like they're going to be making a completely different Switch console or a new handheld console in the next 2 or 3 years instead. But the Steam Deck, yeah, I think this is the next step in handheld gaming. We've obviously seen things like the Vita in the past, which was a fantastic console. Yeah. Like, it just didn't get the support it needed at the time. Like, for the time that came out, to be able to play these AAA titles on the go, not discounting any other handheld console that's ever been out before it, but that for me was like the peak. Like, you had the PSP, you had the PS Vita, you had the Nintendo 3DS. Like, all of these were fantastic consoles. I think the Switch beats it. Yeah. And I can see this Steam Deck going their next step. Like, you want to play Elden Ring on the go? No worries. You want to play God of War on the go? No worries. These are experiences that you probably wouldn't have ever been able to get on the PS Vita. You're never going to be able to get on the Nintendo Switch. So, yeah, I mean, this is the next step in the evolution of video games.
I mean, we've spoken about it previously. Nintendo doesn't give you games. Nintendo gives you experiences. So that therefore, because they're not giving you a game, they don't worry about it. Okay, it's not 4K 60 FPS with ray tracing, but it's an experience on a handheld device or a docked device, whatever. You're getting an experience that you can't get anywhere else. You're getting stories and characters and IPs that you can't get anywhere else. You buy into Nintendo for that sort of stuff, which is where I realize that Nintendo isn't doing the wrong thing. They're doing the right thing for them, but it's just that their thing isn't for me. I'm not a Nintendo gamer by definition. There's a lot of Nintendo stuff that crosses over because it's experiences. Experiences aren't just pigeonholed to one type of person. So there's a lot of stuff that Nintendo does that I enjoy. It's just that I then know that I have to balance. Okay, I'm sacrificing visual fidelity and graphics, quality gameplay mechanics and functions, not just using the Joy-Cons because, I like my hands to not be in pain, so there is that too. Excuse me. So yeah, Nintendo Switch is definitely a great console, and the numbers tell everything. You don't sell that many units and have something that's not worth buying. It's just not something that I want to buy. So yeah, Steam Deck from Valve definitely is something that is more geared to me. The fact that I can play console quality games on the go, the fact that I can, with some games, just pick up and play from where I left off. That for me is futuristic gaming, and that's what it is for me. The fact that I could play Elden Ring and just, not that I'm probably gonna, but I could, and then just continue where I was playing before. The fact that I could start a Master League on a Pro Evo game and then continue it, that's futuristic gaming for me, and that's where I want it. Yes, please. Gagad is lurking. Enjoy the seat at the back of the ice cream van. Don't worry, we'll be reaching the final destination on this ice cream van journey shortly, so it's fine. Ads says Switch is definitely less power than a PS4. Yeah, 100%. And the fact that Steam Deck gets close to that, the thing is, we think our PS4 was last gen, but the PS4 is actually not too far away from the PS5 in terms of what it gives you on screen. It's just there's a lot more magic, and it's not what you get as your output, it's what can be done around that. So it's the faster loading times from your SSD. It's the velocity architecture from your Xbox consoles. It's the ray tracing that both consoles have, the ability to do more faster and quicker, so you don't notice the difference as much from, like, say, the previous generation before that, the Xbox 360, PS3 generation. However, it's still a lot to ask to be put into a handheld device. So the fact that the Steam Deck does even get close to that PS4 stuff, I mean, yes, please. Okay. Talking about games that you can play on the go, we did mention Elden Ring, which is quite fitting because that is the feature of the last bit of news that we have for you guys today. And this is written by Ender Robertson at VGC. It says Elden Ring looks likely to have smashed Souls sales records in the UK. From Software's latest comfortably outsold its predecessors in terms of boxed sales. So here we go into the article. It says Elden Ring has likely smashed series launch records in the UK. Physical only sales data published by GI.biz has confirmed that the From Software title comfortably outsold the previous biggest Souls box launch, which was 2016's Dark Souls 3 by 26%. Just want to cover that again because I kind of fumbled through my words, and not everyone will have the background. Souls is a word that's used for the series Dark Souls and Souls alikes-ish. So yeah, basically, there's been 3 Dark Souls games before, and at least I'm not a big Dark Souls fan, so I could be wrong on that. From Software is the developer, so From Software has developed Elden Ring, which is a Souls game and has now beaten the biggest previous launch, which was Dark Souls 3 in 2016, by 26%. So if I fumbled over my words and didn't make it clear, hopefully that clears it up. So those figures don't include digital sales data, and the download games market has increased significantly. So we could just leave that there. We don't need to go through the rest of it. It starts talking about the context in terms of what other games are out in the market and starts going into the reviews and stuff like that. We don't need to do that. We've done that previously. You know it's a big game. You know there's shitloads of people playing it. You know there's a lot of people that like it. You know it's doing incredibly well and had 97s on Metacritic and OpenCritic last week. So exceptional game. Nice to see that progressing through to sales. I mean, if it's gone up by 26% in physical sales, you have to imagine digital sales has absolutely shit all over that, right? What are your thoughts, babe?
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to see a game that had all of the hype being built up to it has delivered. I mean, there has been some problems on the PC side of things, which has been made abundantly clear on Twitter over the weekend, with people going ballistic and it being trending pretty much all weekend. If I go into trending now, I could probably dig something out. But yeah, apart from that, it seems to have been delivering on every single front. There have been people who've never played a Souls game before and potentially wanted to get involved with it that have picked this up. I'd probably say 50% of them didn't like it, probably looking to get rid of it. And the other guys are like, this is fucking incredible. So, yeah, I think they've probably won over a lot of new fans. But it's a game that was eagerly anticipated, critically acclaimed, 9s and 10s across the board. in the previews and the reviews. So yeah, it's nice to see a game that was hugely anticipated hitting every note, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sticking the landing. That's the issue. A lot of games, Cyberpunk, and the like that have been big PC releases. Obviously, I'm saying PC. Cyberpunk did come out on console and stuff ish, but it was engineered towards the PC audience, as anyone with a console found out very significantly. But Elden Ring was engineered towards a PC audience, naturally, and stuck the landing. Hitting 97s, yes, bugs and stuff, but they will be ironed out pretty quickly. The fact that the game had substance and wasn't just terribly broken at such a high level of hype, and they've stuck it. That's a big achievement. So 26% increase in physical sales in a time when physical sales are dropping off is huge. You have to imagine that their digital is probably maybe double that. So huge launch for Elden Ring and From Software. Congratulations, nice. Congratulations, GG's, all of the rest of the stuff. GG's, nice. And that is where we are going to put a pin in things. Thank you everyone for joining us for the news today. Let me give you a little bit of a recap, just in case you joined us late. We started off talking about Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet, which have been confirmed for coming out late 2022. There is 3 new starter Pokemon revealed too. So if you're interested in Pokemon fun times, then, well, you can get into that this Christmas. Hogwarts Legacy, you don't have to wait as long. It's rumored to coming out in September, but there's an even fresher rumor, which is that there could be a trailer coming out in the next month. March will 100%, air quotes, be getting a new trailer, apparently, according to an industry insider. The Tokyo Game Show is returning this year with a weird theme song. I don't know what it is, but yeah, feel free to go learn the lyrics. I'm sure you can get involved. It's not really a theme song, it's just a weird press release. But the Steam Deck smashes it, as does Elden Ring upon its release. Nice. Have a great afternoon, broskies. No, don't tell us what to do. You have a great afternoon. Do you know what? I'm going to have a mediocre one. Don't tell me what... Oh, fine. I will do. Thank you very much. Love you. Okay, nice. So we're going to disappear. Don't go anywhere. We're going to drop a little early morning. It's kind of early morning for us, should I say. Early afternoon raid on one of our friends. So don't go anywhere, because if you do go along for the raid, hope it sucks. Fuck you. In a nice way. Yeah. Okay. Love you. So yeah, we are going to drop a raid on one of our friends. Don't go anywhere, because we can help their stream. Plus, you get extra channel points to spend on our channel. But before that happens, Mr. Bibb, is there anything you'd like to add?
Yes, again, thank you very much to each and every one of you that have joined us for the first episode of The Scoop this week. That means there is 4 more shows for you to be able to shape. So if you want to help shape those 4 shows, there is 2 ways that you can do so. First of all, find us on social media. It is at Ice Cream Uploads across all major social media platforms, or alternatively, get involved with our Discord. All the links that you require will be listed in the chat or in the description below for you. But all we need from you is the URL plus your thoughts and impressions. We will then give you our thoughts and impressions on the very next show, which will be at what time tomorrow, Mr. Graham Day?
I think that's going to be at 10 a.m.
Ish. Big old ish.
I mean, we are in the studio tomorrow, so it should be 10 a.m. ish. It just depends on how the day goes. We have a lot of stuff that we are juggling at the moment, so we will aim for 10 a.m., but it'll be 10 a.m. ish. The best way to get notified is to drop us a follow on Twitch and our social media channels. That way you get notified when we go live and when we post out the tweets. Lovely. So as mentioned, do stick around. We're going to drop a raid on one of our friends, so it's nice to pass on a little bit of love. So yeah, stick around for that. Until then, have yourselves a fantastic day. We'll see you tomorrow 10 a.m. ish, and stay frosty.
Stay frosty.